This is a rare Ethiopian Orthodox Bible manuscript, handwritten in Ethiopia's sacred liturgical language, Ge'ez.
For almost 2,000 years, Christians have been told the same story. Jesus rose from the dead, appeared to his followers, and ascended to heaven. End of story. But what if that wasn't the end at all? Hidden away in the mountains of Ethiopia lies a Bible so ancient, so massive, that it contains secrets the Western Church has never wanted you to see. And at the heart of these secrets, the words Jesus spoke after his resurrection. Words so shocking, so specific, that they seem to describe our world today with terrifying accuracy. This isn't speculation. This isn't conspiracy. These are ancient texts preserved for centuries by Ethiopian monks who believed these words must never be lost. What did Jesus really say during those mysterious 40 days before he ascended? The answers will shake everything you thought you knew. The Bible, the world, forgotten. Most people think of the Bible as one unchanging book, but that's simply not true. The Ethiopian Orthodox Church possesses one of the oldest and largest biblical collections in existence. Their Bible contains 81 books. The standard Protestant Bible, just 60. That means 15 entire books were left out of the version most of the world reads today. Why? We'll get to that. But first, you need to understand how this happened. In the 4th century, missionaries from Syria traveled to what was then the Kingdom of Aksum, modern-day Ethiopia. They brought with them an enormous collection of sacred literature, texts that would later be rejected, hidden, or outright banned by the Roman Church. But Ethiopia was different, isolated in the mountains, never colonized.
Missionaries from Syria went down to what then was referred to as the Kingdom of Aksum, which is in modern-day Ethiopia, and they brought with them a whole host of literature.
The Ethiopian Church preserved everything. They didn't follow Rome's rules. They weren't forced to edit their beliefs. And so, for nearly 2 millennia, these texts survived untouched, while the rest of the world forgot they ever existed. The Covenant of the 40 Days. One of the most important texts in the Ethiopian tradition is called the Mashafi Kidan, the Book of the Covenant. This book claims to record exactly what Jesus taught his disciples during the 40 days after his resurrection, but before his ascension. And the Jesus who speaks in these pages is not simply a gentle teacher. He speaks as the King of heaven and earth. And his warnings are absolutely chilling. He tells his followers to go into the world and build God's kingdom, but not through worldly power or conflict. The Holy Spirit would be their true strength. What happens inside a person's heart, he taught, matters far more than temples or rituals. But then comes the warning. Jesus predicts that over time, people will twist his words. They will use his name for their own gain. He says there will come a day when people shout his name in the streets, but their hearts will be far away from him. They will build massive temples of gold and stone, but forget the real temple, the human soul. When you look at the state of organized religion today, those words hit differently, but the prophecies get even more specific.
That little reference in Genesis, if you want to know the full story of what the author is alluding to, you read 1 Enoch, specifically the Book of the Watchers.
Jesus describes wars fought in his name. He speaks of lies being treated as truth. One powerful line stands out. Blessed are those who suffer for my name, not in word, but in silence. This is a Jesus who walks with the forgotten, the unseen, those who believe deeply in their hearts rather than those making the most noise. The apocalypse they left out. The warnings were just the beginning. What Jesus showed next was far more terrifying. Many people are fascinated by the book of Revelation, but the Ethiopian Bible contains apocalyptic visions, even more graphic and disturbing. Among the texts they preserved is the Apocalypse of Peter. While fragments of this book existed elsewhere, the Ethiopian version is one of the most complete in existence. In this text, Jesus takes Peter to a high mountain after his resurrection and shows him 2 visions: the glory of the saved and the horrific torment of the damned.